Hey guys, welcome to Safe Continue Podcast, where every so often we get together and talk about video games and video game stuff.
Real fucking cute.
In the words of Thomas Shelby, who's the voice you haven't heard yet and is with me. Say hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
What? I'm confused. Hello.
And Ryan Robinson.
Hi. Welcome to my NPR radio show.
And I'm Shanee Howard. Actually, no, did I say that name at the beginning of that? Oh, man.
I don't know,
Do you guys
actually.
think that all podcasts have to make an NPR joke? Because I feel like every podcast I've heard, someone at some point makes an NPR joke.
I feel like a podcast, as a medium, is a very NPR thing.
Sure.
And so I feel like that's probably where that comes from.
Yeah.
So
you're not wrong.
It is like a monolith of like this kind of genre, so
yeah. It's also kind of like Frasier, but no one's making Frasier jokes, you know?
Yeah, I guess Frasier was the original podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Debatable. What have y'all been playing this week?
I'm sorry, say again?
What have y'all been playing this week?
Oh, well, it's been a couple of weeks, so I did want to bring up Save Room, which is a fun game. It's, if you haven't heard of it, it is Resident Evil 4 inventory management made into a game. But it's a lot of fun. Only disappointing thing is it's like an hour long, if that. But it's super cheap, so it's worth it. And then I've played like 35 hours of DJ Max over the past couple of weeks, and I think as far as Mania rhythm games go, it's got to be my favorite. It's really fun.
Are you a professional DJ yet? No,
I'm not great at it, but definitely seeing fast improvement. And you guys ever had this? I don't know if it's just a getting older thing or what, but it is the first game in a long time where when I'm done, I'm in physical pain from playing it. Not just my hands, but my entire arms are just exhausted,
Yeah. Ring Fit.
Oh yeah, Ring Fit. I didn't know. So I never played Ring Fit, but I can see that for sure.
Every time.
Yeah.
So.
And so many Bomani players and Mania players in general talk about having good posture when playing these games, and my posture has always been terrible,
Yeah.
So I'm sure that doesn't help, but I can't help it. I'm in pain, I go to sleep, I wake up, and I'm not in pain anymore, so I play more, and then I'm in pain again,
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, but it's fantastic. It's so good. I've been teaching it to my daughter, and she likes rhythm games a lot as well, so that's been a lot of fun. But I've been playing other random shit too, but those have been the two main things. Really, mostly just DJ Max. And that's what all this is just DJ Max videos from the game.
Nice. I am almost done with my third playthrough of Three Hopes. And then I'm just going to do a couple little extra things and then I'm done with the game. I've also been playing a little bit of Arceus because I own that and I've never played it, but I keep looking at these Scarlet and Violet videos and I'm just like, yeah. I want the new thing. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So I also so Berto got into Marvel Snap.
Cool.
And so then 2 days later, I downloaded Marvel Snap.
Cool. Yeah.
So we've been playing a lot of that, and it's nice because he doesn't really do a lot of mobile phone games. It's not his shtick. But it's nice because since we both play it, we can actually talk about it and talk about what kind of decks we're building.
Yeah.
And our strategies about different ways to level up because we only started playing it 2 days apart, so we're pretty similar in where we're at. He's a little further ahead. But yeah, I've been a lot of fun with that.
I wonder if I've played against you guys at some point. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, did you get spanked? Because then probably.
You know, I'm actually pretty good at the game.
Yeah.
I have a
I just
strategic mind.
I just dropped like 3 levels because I am trying to like get a certain couple cards to like finish out a specific deck I'm trying to build. So I have like a deck where because like to level up in this like hierarchy tree that will unlock random cards or credits or like other or like boosters for stuff. You gotta like upgrade cards. So I have a deck of all my lowest like upgraded like up to be upgraded cards, and I build those up so then I can like upgrade them and like eventually get cards to finish out decks. So I've been doing that a lot, and that's fun.
Is there? So I haven't played it, and I'm kind of picky when it comes to mobile like deck builder games. But like, what's the? Where do they get you as far as like monetary transactions and all that? Like, is it loot boxes? Is it a battle pass? Like, what is it?
Like to upgrade the cards because like and also like these upgrades for like the most part
Or cosmetic?
are just cosmetic.
That's good.
So like you have to have a certain amount of like specific booster points for that card, and then also these like credit things, like a certain amount of those.
Yeah.
And obviously like the more it like gets more and more rare, then like and the colors on the border and stuff change, like that goes up more and more. So you do have to like grind to get these credits, and then while
Sure.
you're doing that, you're getting the upgrades for the cards as well. So then, of course, like you're willing to spend it, but they do cap it out in the store, like of because you can buy physical money to buy gold, and then use the gold to buy credits.
Yeah.
But all the credit options in the store, I was like reading, they cap out after 2 every like 24 hours.
Hmm.
So
Well,
there
I
is
mean, at
like
least it's not like pay to win, you know?
yeah, it's not pay to win, and it's a cap of like how much you can even give in a day.
Yeah.
I mean, or you can get in a day. So like you can spend however much physical money you want, but to use that to the in-game currency to buy stuff, that's like a limit. So at least it's something.
What's interesting is that sounds, in a way, less pay to win than actual trading card games, you know?
Yeah.
In
So
a
that's
sense.
pretty cool. This thing's got like fucking Beat Mania, not Beat Mania. I keep calling it Beat Mania because of the similarities. DJ Maxx, uh, but it's got a battle pass. Like the old, I played the old DJ Maxx, which is like before battle pass existed, right? But like, yeah, it's got like a straight up like Overwatch style battle pass. It's really weird, and it's just like skins and stuff, you know. But like, yeah,
At least it's just cosmetic.
yeah.
What have you been playing, Ryan?
Honestly, Destiny and Final Fantasy 14, like almost
Oh, nice.
exclusively.
That's been the answer for a few weeks now.
Yeah. I find it hard to tear myself away from those games. I I've also been playing a lot of Destiny 2 because the current season is going to be over in a few days, and I wanted to get through that storyline. And that was a lot of fun. My I have a group of people that I play with. We're all getting ready to do a raid together, so that's been a lot of fun. Um,
Getting ready has been fun.
yeah, it has been, except for like so. There's these um these little areas called lost sectors, and you can do them to like every day. The lost sector that you can do for like exotic loot changes. It's like on a daily rotation, and every day the location changes and the kind of loot you can get changes. So I needed this chest piece for the build that I'm doing, and two things. One, you have to do these lost sectors on hard mode in order for the to have a chance for the loot to drop. And there's only and within that there's like a 20% chance that it'll drop, maybe less. And you have to do them solo. If you do it with friends, then the loot won't drop. So I was getting to the point where I was feeling a little frustrated last night because I was doing this one lost sector for like 2 hours, and
Yeah.
it's like 10-minute runs every time. And sometimes there's something in the chest at the end, and sometimes there's literally nothing in the chest at the end. And That's when it was really frustrating. But I finally got it. And then I've just been playing Final Fantasy with Kaylee and having a lot of fun with that. Except I got in an argument with someone on the game last night because he didn't like the way I was playing the game. I was supposed to be pulling the enemies toward the group, and I was doing that, but he didn't like the way I was doing it, and he told me to focus, and I said, focus on this, and then I typed out an ASCII penis. And then I got kicked out of the group. But other than that, it's been a lot of fun, and also have been playing a lot of Marvel Snap. My collection level is ridiculously high.
What's collection level?
So basically, what Shanee was talking about is like every time you level up a card, then depending on the rarity, because like the card goes up in rarity every time you upgrade it, right?
Okay.
So for every level of rarity, the amount that you go up on the collection level grows proportionally, right? So you go from 2 levels on the collection level to like 6 levels at a time, right?
Is that based just on playtime or on wins or what?
It's based on, honestly, how much of the resource that you have to upgrade your card. Because
I see.
It says when you win a match, you go up in like the you go up in like the tiers of like their little ranked hierarchy or whatever.
Yeah.
Card points.
Yeah.
And then each like upgrades certain card points and like credit points.
And you can complete challenges to get more stuff to use to upgrade your cards. So, and a lot of times you can complete a lot of the challenges that I've seen can be completed regardless of whether or not you win. But I'm at the point now, and where like a lot of my cards are like really high level, so I actually don't have enough of the game currency to level cards as rapidly as I was, and it sucks because I'm at the point where there are cards that I need for the decks that I want, and they're just not happening. And I get to like, because I'm at collection level like 750 something at this point, and at a certain point they just give you these caches of, and it could be upgrade points, or it could be credits, or it could be a card. And I've done like 5 of those, and like no cards have popped out. Pretty frustrating, but having a lot of fun with it still. Just biding time until the Callisto Protocol comes out, because I'm really excited about that. And Gungrave is out, and I want to play it, but I can't. So
yeah, I haven't heard anything about it.
But I'm the only one I know who has played both the Gungrave games for PS2, and I'm really excited for this new one because I thought Gungrave was dead, but it's back now. So apparently.
Real quick though, on Marvel Snap, we have a friend. Me and Berto have a friend Andrew that apparently has played it since the game came out. And so, like, not card level, like card collection level, but actual level, he's in the thousands.
But what is that? Is that just because, like, look, there's plenty of games, right? Like Overwatch, you have, well, you not anymore, but you used to have a level. That level was based on nothing except for how long you played.
That's
you know,
exactly it. That's what I'm saying. Like that one is just like a longevity thing.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
That you get from like actually winning matches.
Yeah.
If you lose a match, then your points will go down. But if you win it, then your points will go up. And then like there's like a betting system. Like if you are confident, you can like put
snap
more like in the pot. Yeah, it's called. But so there's that. So that's just like, but like that's impressive to show longevity, not necessarily like.
Yeah.
He's the best.
I was so happy. Like, I don't play Overwatch, but my daughter has played it for many years now, and like when she told me Overwatch 2 took that out, I was like, thank goodness, because like that's just like a fake thing to give you dopamine, you know? Like it's nothing.
I like dopamine though.
With every like 10 levels though, you do get like a bonus, like extra credits, some gold, like fun little things.
Sure.
So like I mean it's like it does help in that aspect, but not like actually anything.
I mean, yeah, it helps like it's giving you stuff, which is fine, right? Like everybody likes getting stuff in their games.
Especially when they like
But like yeah, especially when you see the number go up, right? But like it's not saying anything about you as a player. It's not like a rank in a fighting game, right? It's like it's prestiging in Call of Duty. Like it means nothing, you know?
It's just for the majority of the length of you playing it, you have been gaining levels instead of
Right.
And I'm not sure. Let me check, but I'm not sure if you can actually see other people's rank either. So
I
it's
don't
just
think
like,
so.
so it's kind of like, see, I like rank where like other people can see how high my rank
Yeah.
is. I want people to
Right.
see that.
And
Um,
Right.
I
but
want
like,
in that game to be able to play your friends, because you
so
can't like play like you can't pick like a profile name
yeah,
to
apparently
play.
that's something that's coming.
I'm
Um,
sure it
Ooh,
must be, right?
yeah,
I
but
mean, it's been out for a hot ass minute.
yeah, but like
I mean,
there's
it's not been that long
yeah,
since that game released, and like that's such a basic thing for a card game to have. That must be coming.
it just it's interesting because like they got the ranks, but like there's not like a leaderboard that I can look at or nothing.
Hmm.
There's nothing like that like the only one who knows my rank is me.
Right, right,
So it's
right.
like it's kind of like I don't even know what it affects. Is it affecting matchmaking in some way? Like I
You
don't
would
know.
hope so.
Yeah, but I mean I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Really
But
nice. It's really fun. I like all of the more obscure characters they'll use. Um, and yeah, I think it's pretty good.
I've
I
heard
like,
mostly positive things about it.
yeah, um, but
but
I don't know. It's fun.
I did want to bring up something today though.
Hmm?
Oh.
I don't know if it's going to be enough for a full topic, but
Okay.
so when I was thinking about the show like last night a bit today, I was looking just at like information on stuff, and I was looking at like top video games like individually and then also franchises. And it's really interesting based like I mean it makes sense when you think about it, but it's really interesting seeing like all these like websites or like magazines and stuff like listing the top games like sell it was free that's not buying it but for grossing and that I assume is just from all the microtransactions because of all the people playing it
Right.
but that's kind of crazy that that's like still on a bunch of lists.
I mean, Fortnite might be more popular, but maybe PUBG players spend more money. I mean, it's hard to say.
PUBG maybe it was more popular internationally.
Possibly, yeah, it's
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
um,
Also, I would wonder if like, especially for something like Mario, right? Are we counting everything with Mario's name on it, or are we just counting the ones where Mario goes on some kind of adventure?
Right. Well, that's where Sinead's getting into, like with Tetris, right? Because if you just look up like top selling video games of all time, what's fucked up is you'll see Tetris, and in that they're counting the whole franchise, but then underneath it you'll see like Mario 64, like a specific title, right? Like that's completely different.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's
yeah.
weird.
And then also like I've seen on some like older lists like looking back
Hmm.
and what's that the space pinball game that was on all the
Space
machines
Cadet.
Space Cadet that was on a bunch of
Yeah.
lists too because that came
Right.
like with it built in but Minecraft like Minesweeper was above it and I'm like I guess like
Yeah.
yes that has the most copies out there.
Right, and that's weird, right? Do we count that as a pack-in? Because like technically that is right, but
yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
well, if you get, like,
but
just
like how?
units, like, downloaded, then, like, yeah, I think, like,
yeah,
everything is fair.
yeah.
But, like, yeah, it's I don't know,
It
but,
is a
like
funny thing, Shanae. That is very funny.
yeah. And also, like, The Sims too show up every now and then when it comes to,
Right.
like, grossing as
And
a
that's such a weird one
franchise.
too, because of like The Sims 2 on GameCube is different from The Sims 2 on PC or Game Boy Advance, right? Like
Or
they're completely different games that just
do they
happen to share the same name.
like, add in the My Sims that was on, like, the handheld devices and also
Right.
Xbox, I think?
Mm,
Uh Yeah, no, and I don't know, it's really hard with a lot of these to like get that granular and see what the actual like source is using.
Yeah.
yeah, I
It's
think
basically
a
looking at
lot of time
Wikipedia.
when people say it's like top anything, be it like video games or cars or whatever, I think a lot of the time the one thing that people are looking at is some barometer of public opinion, and um that usually falls in either ratings or sales. and
Mm-hmm.
because like you get a refrigerator, it's like this is the the top refrigerators, and it's just like however whatever
Yeah.
refrigerator is like the most successful, so
My favorite is like you see it especially with PlayStation and Microsoft, but you still see it with like other publishers and even Nintendo sometimes, where it's like, and this isn't a real thing, this is just off the top of my head, but it's like, Horizon Forbidden West is the fastest selling PlayStation game in the United States. Like they have to tack on all these things to make it sound great, you know?
yeah.
People between the ages of
Yeah.
32 and 33.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But you know what is really funny? So when I'm looking at franchise lists, and like a lot of them are like top 10, but there's quite a few as well that are like the top 100 like
Hmm.
franchises and stuff. So quite regularly when it comes to the franchises, like FIFA is normally in the top 20.
Of course.
But when you look at individual video game sales list, like you'll come across like Madden games or
Of
NBA
course.
games, but you've never come across a FIFA game, which I think is funny.
Don't you think it's weird? I mean, this is off topic, but like, isn't it strange that it's not going to be called FIFA anymore? And do you think that will hurt its sales?
um
Um,
Maybe because I think that like FIFA's like one of those games like Madden or 2K where like that's someone's like video game, right?
Annual.
That's
You're
like
right. That's the thing.
that's their game. That's the reason that they have whatever box they have is because they want to play their
Hmm.
FIFA, right? And I think that a lot of the time when when you have find people in situations like that, a lot of the time they're not looking into like what kind of changes are going on with like different games or whatever. And so I think that like it will be like some people's like, well, there's no FIFA anymore. Like, what's going on? And then they'll either figure out like FIFA is now this thing,
Right.
or they'll just be like, well, there's a soccer game, so I'm just gonna play this soccer game now.
Right.
So
So
I think there's also going to be people like at the brick and mortar retail stores if they're like going to the store to be like, hey, like I don't see FIFA on the wall, or like, hey, do you have FIFA in stock? So there's going to be like hundreds of thousands of conversations now from like retail employees being like, oh, well, actually, it's not
Sure.
called FIFA, but there's going to be those times that like obviously there's not going to be that retail
The
assistant.
majority of the time, there's not going to be that, right? Like,
Yeah.
digital sales tell us that most of the time that will not be the case.
yeah,
You
because
know?
someone's gonna search FIFA on their PlayStation or their Xbox, and like the last thing that's gonna come up is like FIFA, like whatever the last FIFA was,
Right.
and then they're gonna be
They're probably
like,
not going to look at the year.
Yeah.
They're just gonna pick the latest year and be like, "Oh, I guess they're like it's like 4 behind or whatever."
yeah,
But also, like most of the people I know that would gift someone digitally and not look up like what happened to FIFA, just like Google it on their phone.
Mhm.
They just buy them like PlayStation cards or whatever cards so they can buy their own game.
No, but like if you are the person looking to purchase for yourself, you know?
If I didn't see it, I would just Google it. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna affect. I do think it's going to affect their sales, like the
At least a little bit, right?
Yeah, do I think it's gonna, like, make the franchise go bankrupt? No,
No, of course
but
not.
I am gonna but I think that they are also expecting a dip with it
Yeah.
because we'll just have to see how big of one, but, like, I don't think it's gonna be, like, franchise
Drastic.
ruining. I mean, like,
Yeah.
maybe I mean, it'd be kinda funny if it was enough to make them try to do something very similar, like, call it Tifa.
Sure. They'll do that. Speaking of Tifa, uh, so today, while we're here, I did want to bring up like my daughter is playing Kingdom Hearts for the first time, and
Oh,
you love
yeah.
Kingdom Hearts. You're our resident Kingdom Hearts expert. But like they're all free on the PlayStation Extra tier right now. So she
All
figured
3?
she'd check all of them. You can play them all on the
I thought you said
PlayStation
all
Extra.
3, and I was gonna
Yeah.
be,
No. It's
no,
every one of them. It's even the rhythm game is on there.
yeah, no. I just was about to get really mad about you saying that there's only 3 of them.
No,
Sorry,
no.
keep going.
But like she's playing it, and like the only Kingdom Hearts I really have much memory of is Dream Drop Distance, and even that is very, very vague memories, But like, and I know I'd watched some friends play the original Kingdom Hearts back when it was a new game, but I don't remember much of it. And just watching her play like the first half hour of the game, fuck, there's a lot of Final Fantasy in there. Like a lot of it. And like I remember when 3 came out, people were so disappointed that there's like basically none. And I was like, does it really matter? Like, it's not that big of a thing. But no, I was wrong. Like, there's a shit ton of Final Fantasy in that first game.
Destiny Islands is like where a large part of it, but it happens in 2 and a lot of the other games as well. So
Yeah.
when it comes to like the main character itself, like
Yeah.
Sora and like people around him, a lot of those are either just like stealing the name of a Final Fantasy character, or actually that like Final Fantasy character, or based off of a Final Fantasy character. And like as far as like a lot of the like combat systems is very square, like, and there is like a drop with 3. I'm not gonna deny that, but like I mean, I've made the jokes too that there like in all the games there's not that much Final Fantasy, but there is. It's just like
It's a lot, dude. I'm not talking about the way the game plays or anything like that. I'm talking about like in the first half hour of that game,
yeah,
you
because you're
see
just
Yuffie and Sid and Squall and a Moogle and a carving of a chocobo and like so much shit,
So you're not gonna see them much after the first world.
Yeah.
Once they start getting more into going to the Disney IP worlds, there is significantly less like Final Fantasy like named
Sure.
characters, but like it's still like the influence is still present.
Yeah. Anyways, I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
And I figured like any way to bring up some Kingdom Hearts for my good pal Shanee,
I appreciate you.
Throw her a Mickey Mouse shaped bone, Also, Goofy, he's like, we got to build that wall. And then he's just like, what?
I feel like we all knew that about
build
Goofy,
at the border,
right?
is what he says.
Yes. He like protect our borders or something like that.
We
I
all
was like,
knew.
oh
Yeah,
man,
it's like,
we all
it's
knew.
protecting the border of.
it's so fucking funny.
We all knew. Goofy
I know.
was
Like contextually, it was fine, but like I laughed so hard.
We all knew Goofy
when I heard
was a
that.
nationalist. Goofy is a nationalist, and we all knew it. Now he's showing.
It was very good. Very good. Yeah. And like they did a really good job. That remaster looks really nice for a PS2 game.
They did.
Yeah.
I hope she enjoys her journey through it.
I will say this: when you start the game and you're on that little island setting, my daughter, who is young, she was like, "Why is that water moving at 2 frames a second?" I'm like, yeah, it totally is.
Because it must.
Because that's.
Yeah.
It couldn't handle anymore.
Yeah.
It's a lazy river.
2-frame water.
Yeah.
That's really funny to imagine Bailey just sitting there roasting it.
Yeah. We were making fun of it quite a bit, but I think we were both enjoying it though. Like it seemed genuinely fun,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't think you should take it too seriously. There are like, as long as it's like acknowledged somewhere that like, yeah, there's like more depth to this game, but no, it totally is silly. But
Yeah.
yeah. I recently watched a 3.5-hour video of somebody going on about the Kingdom Hearts series, like going through each game, and like did a really good job. Like obviously he has some sort of like history with like writing or like storytelling in general. So he goes off of it. Yeah, it's like it's a really, really good one. And then it's funny, I was almost done with it, and one of my friends like messaged me, was like, "Hey, I found this really good Kingdom Hearts video." I'm like, apparently our algorithms are synced up. Awesome. Sir?
That's not me.
My mom was calling me.
Oh.
So.
Do you need an answer?
You can answer,
No,
I already said hello.
I already sent it to voicemail.
All right.
Such a rude son.
So let me ask you something. While we're doing this, you did you're saying you're watching like a 3-hour Kingdom Hearts video.
3.5.
Oh, well, okay. So you had time to watch a 3.5 hours Kingdom Hearts video, but you didn't have time to play the game I sent you.
Weird.
This was like
funny that
this is before you sent me the game.
Okay. All right.
You know what's funny, Tom? You let me borrow the new Ratchet and Clank, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I did instead?
Huh.
I played old Ratchet and Clank.
See, and that's fine. Here's the thing, right? I let you borrow a game that I already had.
Yeah.
You know, I purchased a game for Shanee.
Yeah, that's
You
also
know,
that's true. You know what, Tom? Can I tell you something?
Hmm.
Every game that you've ever bought me,
Yeah,
I've played it. Every single
I
one.
know. I
Every
know.
single one.
Yeah.
We
So
discussed. I don't give me gifts.
No, it's just rare. It's rare that I see it like I'm pretty regularly will buy friends games if it's easy for me to do so,
yeah,
right? PlayStation makes it a little bit difficult, Nintendo makes it a little bit difficult, but like Steam makes it very easy.
yeah,
But like it's rare that I see a game where I'm like, I bet Shanae would dig this, you know?
yeah.
I'm
But
really
yeah.
sorry. Like life got in
I
the way.
mean, you should be. You should, you know, but
My life and me, my memory, my very shitty memory.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, yeah, I just had a lot of family stuff going on, and I just completely forgot you bought it.
Sure,
And now,
sure,
now my guilt
sure.
is back at 100.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
feeling okay about myself, but
That's where
I'm
Tommy
glad you
likes
fixed
it.
that.
That's where
I'm
I like it.
Yeah.
glad- Thank you.
That's how he
Thank you
keeps
for
you in
fixing
check, you
that.
know?
Yeah, I can't get too much of an ego because I should. What am I overconfident about? Need to be humbled.
Something. We'll find it. We'll knock it out a few pegs. Um I don't know, man. Like I remember I played I'm all blurry. Let me
That's all right.
There we
There
go.
you are.
I played Kingdom Hearts. The last time I played Kingdom Hearts I was in high school.
Yeah.
I was like 17 or 18 years old. And I loved seeing the Final Fantasy characters, and I was like, this is really cool because I love Final Fantasy and I like seeing these guys in a different context. It's really neat. And then I kind of fell off when I lost the disc and I never played it again. And
It's very weird, like seeing some of those characters, the way that they're depicted in Kingdom Hearts. You know, like you see Titus, whatever you want to call him,
they're very smooth.
very early. Well, no, but like it just looks like a younger version of him. And you're like, is that character? He's got the weird fucking half pant,
Yeah.
you know. And then you look it up and like, sure enough, that's him, you know.
Sure.
Or like Squall with like long hair. You're like, is that Squall?
Yeah, he's handsome.
They don't call him Squall, but then they do call him Squall. But then he says not to call him Squall, you know.
He
And
doesn't like
it's
that.
very
Don't
funny.
call him that.
Yeah,
Do not call him that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's basically what they do with Sid in every Final Fantasy game. They just give them
Sure, but they do that with like some characters, but not others, right? Like Yuffie's like, hey, I'm Yuffie, and I look exactly like Yuffie,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It works though. It is a thing. And
Yeah.
then I also just like I really, really do like actually the like it's silly. I know it's the big floppy shoes. I know the pants are like very balloon animals, but I really do like
Which was the style at the time.
Sure.
I really do like the like mixing of the like art styles between Disney and like Final Fantasy in it. I think
Yeah.
I think it fits like really well. I just like I really am I'd say I really don't like it more in some of the other like specific worlds because they are also trying to blend a Disney like Square Enix Final Fantasy look with like Pirates of the Caribbean look. And
Right.
it's all just like weird. I'm like I don't want this.
Well, it's got to be right. Like this is such an early example of them doing a crossover of that scale. I mean, yeah, you could say it's Disney, but like, you know, Captain Hook and fucking Jafar and Ursula and like all these characters aren't drawn. I like come from the exact same place. You know, it's like an early example of like the Fortnite. Let's try to make all these art styles mesh well together. You know. And I think like for how early it is, they do a pretty good job of it. You know,
Yeah.
I can't speak to Kingdom Hearts 3, which I know like you know you didn't like the pirates thing there, but
It isn't in 3, it's in 2.
oh excuse me, I mean I'm no
Yeah, you spoke out of turn.
Kingdom
Tom.
Hearts.
Apologize.
Yeah.
Apologize.
Sure,
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's honestly it's the ones where they go to the more live action movies because they're also like
Yeah.
animating this live action movie as well as like trying to make it look all unanimated like similar to
Yeah.
the movies. It's like it's a bit too much.
My daughter was immediately saddened when you go into some random house in Traverse Town and like Pongo's there and he's like, hey, all my fucking kids are gone. And you're like,
You gotta play
damn.
with puppies. The
It's
mom's
just
very
funny.
tired from birthing
Yeah.
101 of these
Like
bastards.
all those fucking dogs are dead, you know?
They're not
Yeah.
dead. You just have to find them.
Cruella got
Sure.
them.
Yeah.
She Cruella'd them.
Yeah.
So let her know that if she doesn't find all 101 of them, she hates dogs.
Yeah.
Uh,
No Dalmatian left behind.
Sure. I don't know, man. I'm glad that I'm really glad that your daughter's getting to experience that game. But I for one, I considered I considered revisiting that first game since I never finished it, and I played Destiny instead.
Yeah, but I mean, you've said plenty of times you've got trouble going back to old stuff, you know?
Uh, well, yeah, I say that, but then I was playing Ratchet and Clank the other day, which
Yeah.
is about it. Those two games are like the same age, basically.
Sure, but I think like Ratchet aged pretty well, you know? Like it feels not that old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've played that first Ratchet within the last couple of years, and I feel like it's aged very gracefully.
Yeah, it's a that
I
game
think
is
it's also
something
like if
else.
you've played it before, then you also get that dopamine from like knowing what's gonna happen, like
Yeah.
even like subconsciously.
But
And then
both of my kids are teenagers, right? And like they go back and play some fucking old games pretty often, you know, and it
Well,
doesn't seem to phase them.
At the same
like I
time,
played more varied stuff when I was younger. Or I just would play anything I could get.
Yeah.
I did play through, like, I think I mentioned last time we recorded that I played through a brawler that I had played like 30 years ago. Like I
Yeah.
specifically spent $7 to buy it so I could play through it because that's also one of those things where like I want to revisit a thing to see if it's the way I remember it from when I was a kid. Like I want to see if like because there are some memories that I have of different games. I'm like, did that actually happen in that game, or is that just my brain filling in some blanks? Um,
Yeah.
so like
It's weird, like
that was part of why I bought it.
Earlier this year, Shredder's Revenge came out, right? And like playing through that was super fun. And then the Cowabunga collection came out. And I bought that like I think day one.
Yeah.
And I beat every game in that collection, you know?
Yeah.
And some of them were hard to go back to. Really, all of them feel much older than Shredder's Revenge, right?
Sure.
Like people were like, "Oh yeah, Shredder's Revenge, it's a throwback game." Shredder's Revenge feels nothing like those games.
Yeah, but you know what people mean when they say a throwback.
Right,
though.
right. But it's not though. You know, like it is not. But
You hear him, Ryan? It's
you know,
not.
like there are games like that where I'm like, yeah, you can feel how old the game is, but I guess I just don't care, you know? Like, it's still fun to me. Like, fucking Pac-Man is still fun to me. Donkey Kong is still fun, you know?
Still real to me, damn it.
Yeah.
Because I was going out and about this week. Sorry, it just reminded me of it. Because so my thing of like going back to like older games, even if you feel the weight of them like being older, as long as it doesn't actually impede gameplay, I'm pretty okay with it.
Right.
Is what I was gonna say, but I was like, oh, I just remembered because I've had this conversation like 3 or 4 times since the last time we talked about like with Fuego and Violet and Scarlet talking about them and having bugs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, like some of it like looks very game impacting, and that's part of the reason I kind of don't want it. But like a lot of people this just seems to be like just visuals, which those can be like really fun.
Well, what's funny about that game in particular is like people are quick to point out all these bugs that the game has, right? Like I'm seeing a lot of short videos on Twitter of like characters' heads spinning around 360 degrees and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
They'll do that sometimes.
And like Digital Foundry brought up a really good point in their analysis of the game in that like those problems will be fixed. But like the fact that the side of a mountain is made up of a small texture that is repeated 100 times won't be fixed, you know?
Never.
Like the problem isn't the bugs, it's the artistic choices that they made, you know? I mean, the bugs are a problem too at launch, but like, you know, like that will be fixed. The art direction won't be.
least not on this iteration.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to some friends the other day about like what the very first Pokemon game felt like,
Mhm.
and how it was just like it was it was this magic that I think could probably never be recaptured in any subsequent game for me personally, because I think that a lot of it was like when I was, gosh, how old was I? It was middle school at some point, right? And I was like, there's how many Pokemon? I can catch all of them. I could trade them and fight them with my friends. And like I think about how amazing that seemed to me back then, and how how far fetched that seemed to me back then. And it's wild to me that like the ideas of Pokemon are just something that is like very uh comparatively commonplace now, and it's just like doesn't feel as neat anymore to to think about something like that. I don't know. It's like a very much a me thing, I think, but like it was just something that I was thinking about.
I think it's like every individual person because you'll never be able to capture that feeling. But I think also some of that does have to do with just like age and experience.
Yeah, that's a great
Obviously.
point, Shanae.
Well,
Yeah.
That's a
yeah,
Well,
great
well,
like,
point.
that's what I'm
it's like,
saying is that
it's
like it
like
has. I mean, again, that's what I'm saying is like it's a me thing because I'm just thinking back to when I was like 12 or 13 years old, and like
Like
that.
most people have an example of being impressed by scope in a game, whether
Yeah,
that be the amount of Pokemon or the fact that there's both versions of Kano in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, or you can go to how many planets in No Man's Sky, or it takes this many minutes to walk across the map in Skyrim, like whatever it may be. Uh, I just feel like, for me personally, as I age, like I want those things less, you know? Like, I don't want to go capture however many Pokemon or go to however many planets, you know? Like, I don't got time for that shit.
well,
But
again, it's just like, honestly, I find often that I am impressed by video games,
yeah.
but I am very rarely, especially compared to like back then, I'm very rarely amazed by them.
Hmm.
I think we all have been like disappointed in what the product is, or like get over the like newness, excitement of
Yeah.
it. And then because we're older, like that will just happen less. But like I think back to well, for like just for like my franchise, like Harry Potter. I
Yeah.
think anything magical after that that wasn't like full fantasy, I was just like, okay, it's Harry Potter. Even now, I even call like Fire Emblem Three Houses like Castle Harry Potter.
I mean, that's why
Uh,
they did the fucking houses and all that. Like, that's,
but
you
like,
know,
but anyways, like I sometimes I miss that. I miss that excitement and like feeling that drive of like I want to get really good at this. And I feel that way a lot of times when I start new franchises and stuff like that. That's like why I get so heavy into all the
yeah.
things. Like I need to know all of the knowledge.
Yeah.
I am the trivia smaug.
Yeah.
Uh,
See, I still feel that way all the time with video games. Like, video games still excite me and impress me very regularly. It's just for very different reasons than it used to be,
But
you
as
know?
far as like the greatness of like the scope, like the number of Pokemon, number of monsters and Monster Hunter and stuff like that, that
Yeah.
feels less impressive like than it did when I was a kid. Maybe just because like I know actually realistically how that will work and how many numbers there are. Like with No Man's Sky, even before it launched, and he found out there's so many worlds. You're like, all right, well, there's gonna be like a bunch of repeating things,
When
and you're
Sean Murray is like pulling back the camera over and over again, I was amazed. You know, I was like, "Whoa!" I had no desire to play it, but I was still like very. I was more excited about the tech than I was about the game. You know?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean, like, even then, though, you like, I assumed the planets there was gonna be a bunch of repeating
of
planets,
course.
but they're
Right.
called something different, or the layout's slightly different, or it's like,
Right.
I'm gonna be mining this gold, or and then like in this blue dirt, and then the next planet's like, I'm gonna mine this gold in green dirt.
Right. Yeah. 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 And there
Actually,
definitely is a
green
lot
dirt
of that.
planets don't have gold on them, Shanae. Green dirt
Oh,
planets
I
don't have gold.
apologize. I'm a No Man's Sky noob.
But yeah.
So,
No, no, like I'm
but
I still very much enjoy video games, and I'm always like video games don't bore me or anything. And like I said, I am regularly
absolutely
impressed by
did.
video games. Like video games impress me all the time, but like it's been a while since I saw something or experienced something where I was just like where I just was like amazed and like
Yeah.
I like
absolutely
that
awestruck by it.
that VR experience when you realize you can use VR with fighting games. You seemed pretty in awe of that.
Yeah, well, I was just because that was a curiosity because I was
Yeah.
like, how does that work exactly? Turns out
Yeah.
they just put you really close to the
Turns
guys.
out it doesn't work.
They
Yeah.
put you really close
Not
to the
well.
guys.
Not well is how it works.
I thought I was gonna get to like I thought Geese Howard's hands would be my hands, is what I'm saying.
But instead, you're just looking
They
at that six pack
yeah, they
real
got
Well,
far
you
up
remember
close.
when Street Fighter did that Way of the Hado on Switch? That was so miserable.
What was that?
It was
Oh
for
no.
Ultra 2, where you would like do in first person do Hadoukens.
That was the whole
It was
thing?
real bad.
Huh. Well,
Fighting like Shadowloo guys, you know?
oh yeah, we'll get them out of
Yeah,
here, you know? I want to do Psycho Crushers in VR. That's what I want to do.
sure.
That's what I want to do. But I don't know. I'm always excited about video games. I find myself also like my Kayla is always telling me that I should stop buying games that I'm excited about the day that they come out because like the same thing keeps happening to me.
What's
But
that? Being disappointed?
uh normally with a game that like I am hotly anticipating and a game that I absolutely cannot wait for it to come out. Usually there's something like very wrong with the game when it first
Yeah,
comes out. And so
yeah.
like that's happened to me the last few times. Um and like Callisto Protocol is coming up and I know that I'm buying that on the day that it comes out and I don't know, every time I'm just like that's not going to happen again. And I don't think it'll happen this time. I really don't.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, I do buy some games day one, but like when I have a day one purchase, it's typically from a studio that has like a proven track record. And that's not to say that this one won't be different, right?
Sure.
But like, if a director puts out 5 games in a row that I fucking love, chances are that next one I'll probably also love,
Yeah, might be a stinker though.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's happened for sure, but you know, I wouldn't say like I was completely happy with Street Fighter 5 day one,
I don't think that
but
was an uncommon sentiment,
yeah.
but I also at the same time I'm feeling pretty confident about Street Fighter 6 day one. So, so
So
I don't know.
Oh man.
uh so I really liked the first God of this new first game of this new iteration of God of War.
Sure.
And so I've been really thinking about getting it on the PS4 because I don't have a PS5 yet. And I've been seeing some kind of mixed stuff on, but I recently came across 2 different people who played it on the PS4, and they said that there was a couple like visual glitches that will happen, or like some seemingly long load times, but like overall it still plays really well, and nothing like
I'm sure it does.
no issues on that. So I'm thinking about getting it on the PS4 because I really want to play it. I just want to be a dad again.
Sure. You always be my dad.
Yeah, can I borrow a few bucks, Dad?
Yeah, I have like $2 in my purse. You can take that, son.
All right, thanks, Dad. Going in Dad's purse. Um, yeah, that was a game that like it was that I regularly would forget about until someone had mentioned it, and now I can't forget about it because it's all anybody's talking about.
It's real good,
So I've heard. So I've heard,
apparently.
but like the first one I waited like a year until after it was out to play it, and this might end up being the same. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
remember it. I think it's the only game that like you've been like, how do? Because I had already like stopped playing it by that point. You're like, how do you do this? And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
nope, I haven't had this happen with Brian yet. I'm the worst with video games out of the 3 of us.
I wouldn't say that, but like I don't know. I
I'd
just
say
can't.
that.
I can't get excited for it. Like it doesn't excite me at all. I wish God of War was what it used to be.
yeah.
I really like Norse mythology. I
Yeah.
I like that they're at least like trying something different. Like, I mean, it's still the same realm,
Like I
but
was excited the first time, like first seeing the first game, I was excited for it. But then like the first time I actually watched gameplay of it, which was Ryan playing it,
Yeah.
I quickly became less excited about it, you know. And I have it. Like I'm sure at some point I'll play it. I have the damn thing, but you know, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me.
Kratos punches
so
dudes in the nads a lot less than you think he would.
Yeah.
close your
He
eyes.
also gets laid a lot less, you know.
Well, yeah, because
Like Kratos used to be getting laid all the time.
I think
Now,
I think that we like back then he had all that macho, but now he's just
So
sad all the time.
he got
yeah.
someone pregnant and he realized, shit, I don't want more of these.
Oops.
Well,
Once he realized he could knock someone up, he's like,
the first time
Yeah.
he got someone pregnant, he killed the kid. So
Yeah.
that's true.
that's a big womp womp for him.
Womp womp.
But
Well, this is the first one that survived
yeah, so far, I mean, we don't know what's gonna happen
that we know of.
in God of War, whatever the third one is called, Fraggle Rock or something.
Yeah.
No, they're saying this one is the last one.
The last God of War of all time.
No, but the last of this iteration, like in Norse mythology, this Ragnarok will be the last one. It's just a 2-part thing.
So he's gonna
What-
leave
what
his
do you think
child
they're
in
gonna-
he's gonna leave his son in Norway and start a new family in
I don't know. I hope so.
in Australia.
No, I was thinking. I mean, ancient Chinese gods would be dope. All different deities.
There are heavy rumors about Egypt, but who knows?
I don't want. That just seems boring. I was literally
What?
gonna.
Egypt has mummies, dude. You don't like mummies?
I don't know. Like not like just because like Moon Knight happened and like just do something different.
What's wrong with Moon Knight?
Moon Knight happened.
What's
Moon Knight's awesome.
What's wrong with
Well,
Moon
Moon
Knight?
Knight is awesome. I'm just saying like I want to see different cultures.
Sure.
Do something that not everybody else is
Like
doing.
Moon Knight is Moon Knight Egyptian? Is that his deal?
Yeah.
Moon Knight is not Egyptian.
No, Moon Knight, the character, like not the guy who plays it. That's some guy from New York, I think.
Yeah.
But like Moon Knight as like the entity that like protects the god or is the like avatar of that god's powers is Egyptian. Thank you very much.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I was asking you, but I
No,
don't.
saying it's Thomas.
I think that I don't think that seeing Moon Knight would mean that I was all the Egypt that I needed. I guess. So.
No, I just like also like because like Assassin's Creed also went to Egypt and then
Oops.
like I don't know. I just wanted to see something different.
Yeah.
Well.
Well, that's the rumor is Egyptian God of War.
I mean, that would be pretty sweet.
I mean, it makes the most sense, I guess, like geographically, if we're going from like ancient.
I want to
Greece
see God of War in America during the Revolutionary War, and I want to see Kratos beat up those redcoats real bad.
He'd also probably beat up the Patriots.
Yeah, I want to see him beat up everybody. I want to see him rip George Washington's skull in half.
Does he hang out? And because we have to get some sort of mythology or lore, we just had a Sasquatch hanging out with Kratos.
Yeah. Well, then again, I guess like they never put real people in God of War, so maybe not. So.
Yeah. Well, we also put like I said, like mythology and lore and that shit. So.
Yeah.
Like,
does America have mythology?
You know,
Yeah.
I'll say this, Shanee,
Wendigos.
Oh.
like
And also Native American culture.
I guess I understand you not wanting it to be in Egypt. I don't know why we're still talking about fucking God of War.
My bad.
But like
sorry, Tommy.
but like I feel like over the past 5, even 10 years, there have been way more Norse mythology games. Like, you know?
Yeah, why do people like that stuff so much?
It's cool, but like I
Is
feel
it?
like the ratio of Egypt to like it's just I don't know.
I don't know. I think Egypt is way
I'd also would
cooler.
have been cool with them not doing like Norse mythology and do something like cool, like more interesting or less done. Like I'd be fine with that. But I will
Yeah.
say that whenever it came out, besides like I think the only game I played that had to deal with Norse mythology before that was Jotun.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Or as far as like what I've played like on
Sure.
there. So I don't know. Like I'm not saying that I thought that like Norse mythology was like the most amazing idea, but I was like, oh, this is interesting. At least like different creatures than we've been seeing. But like now I want it to be something different.
Give me back the Medusas.
I was about to say none of those
Dude.
things was as cool as a Medusa.
Give me like honestly like or even like ancient steppe people because they would like take all these cultures
Like
and different gods and
like
idols and stuff and it would be like
stepdads and
mismatched
like
religions.
stepbrothers and stepmoms.
Yeah, that's kind of steppe people,
Okay.
not the kringle of the world.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, from what Corey Barlog says, they're doing an original IP next anyway. So whatever God of War is next will probably be a long ways off.
I do
but,
like new IP.
Yeah.
I love new IP.
You know, it's not video game related, but I will say the Wednesday Addams Netflix show
Yeah.
was disappointing, and honestly, they could have done it with any IP. They just obviously just threw the Addams Family name on
It's
there.
very funny that you
That
said
was
that because I was actually when I said new IP, I like that literally popped into my head about what I want to see.
I
When I
like
see
An
you
new
know,
old IP is what popped into your head,
Well,
or
because
what?
like no, I'm saying
no,
that like
like want a new
what I'm
IP. You're done
saying
with the
what I'm
one.
saying is that there's like people like keep revisiting these IP that have been established for like forever,
Right.
and I was
Right.
just like when I was saying like I really want to see new IP, what popped into my mind is how much I don't like that show.
Oh, I haven't watched it, but I have really no
It's
desire to.
like a high budget CW show, like and like you know
Well,
how
I
like
like those.
Yeah, but
well,
it's not as cool as
so
any of
All
like
right.
those.
All right.
but
All right.
right, so it's like high high budget CW show, like any franchise or any characters could have been in there. So like you know how like the thing with the Adams family is they're kooky spooky, but like they're the antithesis of the nuclear family. Like the parents are very physical, the kids
Sure.
look up to their parents and like want to be like them, and stuff like this. But like this, like Wednesday is like mad at her parents for making her go to this magic school that they went to with a bunch of like werewolves and sirens and vampires.
Yeah.
And like because she's like, I am not gonna be just like you, and
Right.
like okay, like
Well, see, they want her to be relatable, Shanae. So, you know,
No, she's not relatable
but
because like
who doesn't wanna be like Catherine Zeta-Jones? Who doesn't wanna be
she
that?
comes off as trying too hard, is what I'm saying, and it's this very exhausting.
Also, the phrase mansplaining's in there.
The only reason I
yeah.
wanted to watch it was that Fred Armisen plays
Uncle
fucking
Fester,
Fester.
he did great. I like
Really?
Yeah.
yeah, they leaned a lot more
That's
into
so
them being
fucking funny.
they leaned a lot more into them being Hispanic, which I did like. And I like the way they incorporated 2 snaps into it. It's like a fun little thing. I liked a couple of those things, but like as an overall, I'd say it's disappointing. But like it's not the worst like background show if you're like fine missing parts because like
I'm
you
fine
just
missing so much of it that I probably won't watch it, you know?
Nice.
yeah you just need to watch Catherine Zeta-Jones and Fred Armisen.
I mean, I can watch them in other things I actually like.
Yeah.
But like, are they dressed up as Uncle Fester and Morticia Adams?
They are not. No.
Because she looks hi.
Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, is there anything else that you wanted to add before we close up our show?
No, not really. Less God of War, you know?
Yeah.
Make God of War like you used to make it. Then I'll be excited again.
Would you say make God of War great again?
Yeah, that's what I'll say.
Because the God of War had more yelling, more fucking, and more Medusas.
I don't really care about any of that. I think it just had more fun, you know?
Yeah,
Remember
well,
when God of War was fun?
I feel like I said all the fun.
Yeah.
I said the yelling. I said the fucking. I said
Sure.
the Medusas.
Sure.
It's all fun
You forgot
stuff.
the killing part. You forgot the killing part.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
killing, but I mean the Medusas is part of it. So,
Yeah.
my closing thought is, I love my mom.
Sure.
So,
Well, that's all we got for this week. If you want to listen to us on something that you're not listening to us on right now, we're on most podcast apps. We're also on the YouTubes, and we have a Discord if you want to come chat. It will be linked somewhere. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
bye.